All right, C1x Updates, episode 9, I believe. Been a few days since the last one. Been working very slowly. Started, so I think where we left off. Now I'm getting an error. Where I left off last time was putting a couple graphics together that did not look good, but were there. And then I was going to start working on calculations. We're going to score around using deep stats in the app. I have done that. I've done that a few times actually. I noticed some errors with how my shot counts were getting produced. So if you look down here in the results, no, results isn't what I need. I don't think I have it down here. Essentially, like the last shots, like the putt that goes in the basket for hole 1 was getting put on hole 2. Hole 2's section of the deep shot data, and I had quite a bit of tweaking to do with that. That was... We'll see if I can actually find the section of code here. This is not what I needed. This is what I needed. All right, so on my confirm button down here, there was some reordering and reworking of this code to get it to work properly. It is working properly now, so that's great. It was mostly with this section up here. Troubleshooted that a little bit, made a decent bit of progress in building out stats and the actual calculations and how I think that's going to work. But first off, I do have this new error, so we got to troubleshoot this first. This is going to be related, I assume, to my calculations that I'm doing, so something isn't quite adding up here. Null is not a subtype of type int. 366. So it's this line. This is working. This is not. Shot types map. Element add average execution label. That does make sense actually, because if I go up here, what is average execution? That's set as 0. Oh, this is my issue. Yeah. Okay. This should be easy. Easy fix. So I was halfway through implementing my calculation for the average execution. So that's this grade here. Oh, on the error screen. The scale from 1 to 5 for every shot is my execution grade. Calculating the average for that and then assigning it to every shot type. But the issue is that one of my shot types is just normal putting. And normal putting doesn't have an average execution grade. So I need to remove that for my actual putt shot type. I am going to make some changes, I think, to the shot types that are available in scoring rounds to begin with, but I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. So this is going to be here, and then we're just going to do a if shot types map shot type keys element at I is equal to deep stats labels that actual putt shot type 0. What's the issue here? String is not a subtype of shot type map keys. Is that not what I'm looking for though? Like I want the key is what I want. Key, and then this is the value. So I want to know if the key is equal to this. shot types. I'm going to need to do the same thing up here, I think. Yeah. Okay, one thing at a time. Map with that key. Okay, I'm confusing myself here. Trying to run the below code to skip if the shot types map this statement is within a for loop is on the actual put key. Shot types map looks like this. Keys dot element at. That's what I want. So I don't want this. I want this. I see. Okay. Continue. Easy enough. Do I need the same thing for all of this? Should actual puts include all of this? They shouldn't, right? They should not. Nor is this all actually going to calculate out correctly. There's going to have to be some tweaking here, but that's okay. I want to just calculate the actual put shop type within these, but that is going to make it a little bit hard. Let's reset it real quick. I think that, yeah, I was going to say, I think that fixes the first issue at least. But, no, not on this. Like, I'm not going to be showing putting here. Putting will always be its own thing. So I think I actually need to just get rid of this. Actual put shot type is not going to go here and then in my graphics to add misbehavior. See, and I think that's kind of why I was thinking about including putting in this, is just to show misses, but it really should be its own thing. And maybe that's just as focused on here. Okay, so long story short, I'm getting rid of that. That's fine. Okay, so bug fix, good. What the goal is going to be to work on today will be sorry, I'm just reading into this now. Is going to be to finish these calculations and then maybe put together one more rough graphic for the flight paths. So right now I've got one for shot types, one for release angle, which is this heat map looking thing, and then one for flight paths, which is going to be this essentially. And those are going to be what these maps are for. The idea is that I have one of these for each graphic, and those are just what I'm passing. Keep it very simple and straightforward, no overlapping. And yeah, that's going to be the goal. So this round that I have here, this second one, does have, I log deep stats for every single hole. I'm going to delete this first one. That one is going to have issues. And I don't think there's a good way for me to fix that. I guess I can go look at the code real quick and we can see. Because I do want to delete it. 258 hole shot. Hole is not equal to null. Shot is not equal to null. Can't do that. Is that okay? I feel like that doesn't fix the issue. No, it absolutely does not. 280. No, it did fix that issue. Okay, I can read between the lines there. Sure. Okay. Ultimately, I ended up not messing up. This was when some of the shot data was not displaying for the correct holes. So I was going to delete this round. So we just have the one. But this round is ready to go. The shot data should be in the correct structure. It's all in there. So now we just need to finish these calculations. And then I'm sure troubleshoot why things aren't working. So starting on the average execution grade. So the idea here is that I'm just going to sum up all the execution grades for every shot into that value. And then at the very end, so this is happening after it's already gone through all the holes for the entire round. This is just all of the round data for each individual hole. Each individual shot is calculated. This is just summing them at the end. So we're just going to take whatever that sum is for all of the execution grades, divide it by the count, which is the number of throws for that type of shot. So I have the average down here, and the only thing left is now to sum it. So let's go to shot types first. For each shot, if it is equal to a value, we've got count label plus equal to 1. And then we're going to go what am I going to do? So my only thought now is that if count's happening for every throw regardless, if they don't log an execution grade, that's going to be a thing that I just need to factor into all of these decisions for every single calculation, is what if they just don't enter it? Because I'm not going to make them enter it. And I don't just want to add another variable, but I might have to. So the options are I just leave it completely blank or I default it to 3, like right in the middle. And I like the idea of displaying something rather than nothing. And people always have the ability to just turn it off in the settings. And if you turn it off in the settings, then it won't show it all. But if you have it enabled and you don't log it, I'm okay with just defaulting to 3. I think that's fine. So we're going to go shot types map, deep stat labels, average execution label plus equal to and then here I need to pull it from the all shots data. Plus is equal to execution grade key. Because execution grade otherwise is, we're going to go int.try parse, and we're going to try and parse this. Doesn't like that. It is set to be a string. Yeah. I think that works. So I'm not 100% sure if it exists. But if it does, we're going to get a value. If it doesn't, we'll default to 3. That's fine. So then we just need to copy this and take it down to the release angles as well. I'm going below count, right? Yep. Try and keep this consistent. We'll copy it down here, and then I'll go update count label. All right, release angles map. All release angle values. Average execution label plus equal to that. Okay, perfect. And then same thing down here. Flight path, all flight path values. Okay. And then this is my to-do list here. I just copied all of the labels from up here, which is what these are. I also switched these all out for values just because I'll have typos and that'll screw something up. So easier just to make them all constant values. But I just copied this list down here to make sure that I was actually generating all the stats. So that's done. Misses feel hard to do. I didn't talk about the way I was structuring this, but essentially I've got an if statement for shot type, release angle, flight path, and then I'm doing all the same stuff inside each of them. But got to make sure they exist, and then I have to assign them to the right shot type, whether it's backhand or forehand, or right release angle, etc. Misses. Okay, so results down here. This is what my data looks like. I'm getting missed values. And really, that's what I want to add. Then what did my misdistribution look like? It's just an empty array. Yeah, and same thing with distances. Okay. Shoo. So right now I'm trying to debate whether or not, because what my misses look like is just this. Like sometimes they're low. Sometimes it's nothing here. This is a right. That's a putt. That miss was nothing. It is interesting how they're not. Let's see. Is there a way to prevent the debug log from statements with this operator. Debug print. Okay, let's try that. This is on round display. Or no. It's down here, isn't it? Return, yeah. Debug print doesn't exist. Debug print. Foundation. None of my misses look right. That is a bummer. That is a bummer. I wonder. Let's see if I go to the main menu and we just print out my print detailed shot. Just what does that printout get me? Detailed shot data sets. Okay. Disk put accuracy. Miss D L short R releasing. So these look right. Okay, so I see what the issue is. I see what the issue is. Now, how do we account for that? In my detailed shot data, my information looks like this. Notice that all individual arguments are separated by a comma, except that miss R is one argument. Previously provided the below function for parsing this data, which works well for everything except the miss argument. Let me fix that. Because I think right now we're just separating everything out by commas. And we can't have that. Whoa. Yes. Internal shot data. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Let's try that. Let's do another reset and get rid of this. Restart the whole thing. Get rid of that debug output. All right, now results. Why are there so many commas? All right. This is not working. My data looked in arguments, but now it looks like this. Most of the arguments are followed by have data in them, but it's not showing in the results. Let's find out. That is looking better. Give me one more reset just to make sure. Shot type, distance, da-da-da, beautiful. Chef's kiss. Okay. That's good. I was worried I was going to have to score the round again. That is something I'm having a lot of doubts on right now. Like, again, obviously, if a user's scoring a round, you can toggle all this stuff off if you want it. You can certainly still just use CX normally. You don't have to do deep stats, right? We can keep score. We can make it really fast. And even if you have deep stats enabled, you can turn individual stuff off. You can turn all of it off except for one thing. If you only want to know like shot types, whether you're better forehands, backhands, you can turn everything off except for that. And then that way when you start a round, it's just clicking this. That's all you'd have to do, and then you still hit your landing, and that's it. So there are ways to simplify it. But just like going through, and I even have a course set up that's only 6 holes. But going through the 6 holes and just entering a round in took a little time. It took enough time that I'm like having some pretty serious concerns about whether anyone would ever want to use it. It is like, it's definitely a very niche tool to begin with. And I think there are some opportunities to simplify some of the visuals so there's not 6 different steps or 8 different steps depending on what you have turned on. But something to consider. Okay, so now back to stats. Back to stats. Misses look as they should now. So this is what they look like. I'm not covering that up. The decision to either try to parse that information right now, or I kind of want to parse it right now. That's what I want to do. Okay. I need a new helper now to take this string as an argument and parse out what follows D, L. Individual strings array. I think I just want this. Parse miss string. And this is going to be for every shot. So DLNR, try DLNR. I need I also need it to not return a value if D, L, or R is equal to. Meaning if they are blank, they should only be a part of the returned array if they have a value. Interesting, okay. All right, let's get rid of this. And then I need to call that. So parse miss string, let's just call it up here in shot type first. Should just be in this, I think. Map. That's fine. You can just give me this. And this is going to be miss distribution label, all shots data, deep stats, shot miss key. We are not adding it as an integer though. That's important. So this actually needs to be let's get rid of this and we'll add all shot, no, not all shots data. Parse miss string, and then the miss string will be all shots data, miss shot miss key. Actually, because I don't even want it to add a blank if there's nothing. So let's just do a if all shots data, shot miss key. It's actually going to have to be blank because I can't really parse that out. Okay, let's just do a rerun here and then see what it gives me. Short release angle, right. How many shots did we take? 16. 9 results is what we got. But there are putts. How many putts were there? 30%. I'm getting distracted here. All right, there were 16 throws. How did I end up with the perfect 70 and 30? Because 30% is going to be 4.8. Sixteen throws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What?
That's how many putts I took. But this only shows 5. What's going on here? Or no. C1x, sorry. That shows 7. Let me go look at this. Throws versus putts counter. Where am I calculating it at? Here we go. Throws versus putts. And it is putting versus throwing. Throws is 0, putts is 1. That's not how I calculated it out here. I don't know, it's displaying it in the right order, so. C1 putting plus C2 putting. Attempts. So is it just the way my math is mathing here? Total C1 putting 1, 5, plus 2 is 7. This is going to be 16 minus 7, which should be 9. So if we print throws versus putts counter, 7 and 16 is what I'm getting. Guys, I'm an idiot. That's not right. That's right. Oh. Well, let's go open up version control here. That is silly. Is it gonna open? Down. All right, fixed button causing putts. Okay. Now where was I? That's something that exists in the app right now. So for everybody, throws versus putts is. Let me look at the round I scored yesterday.
that is pretty far off. All right. Silly that it took me that long to notice it. But again, now where was I? What were we looking at? Misses? Why the misses weren't all in there? Why it did not seem to be calculating all of them? So parse miss string is called for every shot type, and every let me do a reset again here. All right, how many throws do I actually have? 56%. So I have 9. So this is correct, actually. It is running every time. Okay. I thought it wasn't working because the throws versus putts was so far off, but no, this is correct. And so then, I guess, maybe just for one last clarification here. Results is working. I'm going to delete this print statement. And then up here, let's just do a print miss test, and then throw that in there. Just so I can make sure, oh, getting an error. Give me that. Not count label. Misdistribution label. So my shot types are backhand, forehand, overhand, putt, and other. Yeah, okay. That seems to be working all right. So let's go. Literally just did this print statement to check it. Let's get rid of that. This seems to be working, so we're going to go now copy this. And so now I'm getting a two-dimensional array for all of these, which it would be let's keep that print statement in there for a sec. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Let's go final all misses is equal to that. And then for miss is equal to 0, miss is less than all misses dot length. And then we're going to copy shot types map, misdistribution label, add all misses miss. Yeah. Reason for doing this is now instead of getting these, I'm thinking I should just get the goal is to get just a one-dimensional array. So let's do a reset, yeah. So now they're not separated by brackets. So that'll be easier for me to parse. I can just go through each item in the array as opposed to checking for two-dimensional arrays. And this is good. This is good. Okay, so now I need to copy that. And then this we are going to drop in here and here. And then we just need to update values. So all shots data. Okay. Overthinking it. All shots data. So this is going to stay the same. I was thinking I could pull it out, but which yeah, I guess I can. I can pull it out. Let's pull it out. If I can pull it out, I should pull it out, I guess. And then for each shot, we're going to go total throw count. We're going to pull that out. And then it's just this. So then that comes out. This comes out. And then miss all misses length. This is going to be release angles map. All release angle values. Miss distribution label. Okay. And then flight paths map and all flight paths values. Okay. It is every time I turn on the camera to film one of these things, I start with the goal of adding one new feature and I end up fixing two things before I even start working on the new feature. That's okay. That is okay. Distances. So now just to determine what makes something successful versus unsuccessful. Is it if it was a fairway hit? These I'm going to have to change up a little bit. We'll have to think about those, but I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. Because the issue is I'm doing this for every shot, and so let's say they take 4 shots on a hole, but the first one is a fairway hit, then all 4 shots are going to get this fairway hit +1, even though I really just want it to be the tee shot or, a shot that actually hit the fairway. Which at that point I probably just prioritize tee shots. So I could just do something as simple as like this. Right, I mean, that's easy enough. And then here we can go and shot equals 1. Or shot equals 2 and hole. What are my hole pars here? And pars hole is greater than. We can go, so it's 5 and 2 or 5 and 3. So pars hole minus shot is greater than or equal to 2. Holy cow, keep it in the backspace button. Yes. So this is saying shot is equal to 1. And this is really what fairway hit should be too. So I think that largely works. Like so. And I got to do the same thing down here. And same thing down here. I thought about the need to fix this earlier and wasn't really intending to do it right now, but that's easy enough. Okay. Excuse me. So distances now. Distances now. I don't think I can do it based off of execution grade just because that's so subjective. I could use the same logic as the fairway hits. But do we call a drive inside C2 a successful distance? It's also subjective to the player. What else could I do it based off of? Come back down here. Like what in the data makes a shot successful versus unsuccessful? Because I could very easily just base it off of the execution grade. But I don't think I can do that either. The way I envision this stat actually being useful, it can't be execution grade. It does need to be like a C1 versus C2. Just because I'm thinking like my take versus an amateur's take on what makes a successful shot is it differs slightly. If I go to like my local course here in Salt Lake City, there's maybe one hole on the entire course where I would say getting inside of circle 2 for birdie is successful. Like unless I'm inside C1, I would not call it a successful shot. But not everyone's going to think that way. But I don't know. We're calling fairway hits inside C2, so maybe I just base it on that. I don't have a better idea at the moment. We can tweak these later. So we're going to go if fairway hit. And I am only going to add distance here if the value exists. Let's go final shot distance equals all shots data, this, shot distance key, okay? Let's go if shot distance dot try and parse distance Doesn't that already? Yeah, this is what I had in mind. What is okay? Shot types map. All shot type values I. Distance. Successful distances label. Add int try parse shot distance. I should do it based off of this. So this should be int try parse. Yeah, that. And then here we're just going to go if shot distance is not equal to 0. And then we would just add shot distance. Okay, so this is good. Now what to do about poorly executed shots? If it's a fairway hit, I'm calling it successful. I could base misses on execution grade. It'd just be nice not to, because they're not required to enter an execution grade. If they're entering distances, they're not entering execution grades. They're going to expect to get stats on distances. Which makes sense. They should. They being users. Else. So if you're not inside C2 in regulation, and am I thinking about this right? So if you're not inside C2 in regulation,
shot is equal to 1. If you're not inside circle 2 in regulation. And it wasn't a fairway hit. So my thought there is like fairway hit and C2 in regulation mean the same thing. So if you're inside C2 in regulation, fairway hit's also going to be true. But let's say it's a par 4. And in that case, we're calling it a success. So I don't want this to run anyways. If it's a par 4 and you're not inside circle 2 in regulation, but you did hit the fairway off the tee, meaning that this would not run. Like fairway hit also needs to be false for it to not be an execution. Like if fairway was hit, because you can miss the fairway, you can still execute the second shot well. This is hard to do without basing it on the execution grade. I don't think I love this, but it is what I'm going to go with right now. So let's go add this under all the fairway hits. Right here. Fairway hits right here. Okay. Release angles map. All release angle values. Okay. And then flight path map, all flight path values. And then for miss distances, we have this on the back end of if C2 in reg. All right, so we'll go fix these two. I'm gonna have to think a little bit on what the right way is to do this. Because just like in this information, what makes the shot successful versus unsuccessful? Because it's never going to be just as easy as saying, oh, it landed in the fairway, because throw it 20 feet, you land in the fairway, it's not successful. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll have to think about that, but okay, so now I should be done with this. What can I do? Run that, see what that gets me. There definitely seems to be some of the same shot counting for both of them. Do I need... I have it everywhere else. Is that going to change my output here? It does change it. Okay. Because they should never be running for the same one. Just because fairway hit's required to be true here, it's required to be false down here. Kind of think I want to add this in, like maybe we only base missed distances right now on tee shots. That's what this shot equals 1 is going to do. That is helping a bit. And it's all par 3, so we only got 6 distances in there. All right. That's whatever. We're going to say that's okay for now. Penalties. Need a function to determine penalty. No, that's not quite right. I guess maybe the question here is, how am I updating the throw count? Round score. I guess it doesn't matter which one it comes from. But that is only tying to deep round scorecard. It should be okay, I guess. Update throw count. Oh no, that doesn't really help me either. Shot type is only any count one, so I have nothing that's going to. It is always getting added first, though. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so now I think we can use this function. Final shot misses. Penalty shot locations is equal to shot counts. And this is shot data full. So then I get an array with locations for penalties. If shot type key is not equal to null, is equal to shot type values. So we're going to go if, penalty shot locations contain shot. Perfect. That is what I need. So the function is to determine what location, what index in this all shots data penalties are occurring. If they are occurring, then this if statement is determining which shot type they occurred for, if the shot type exists at all. If it does exist, then we're adding an increment of 1 to this. So that's perfect. Function was the hard part, but now that I have the function, we're returning the index. I just have to take this and copy it above break for both of these, and then update the values. Penalty shot locations contains a shot, then we go release angles map, release angles value. Perfect. All right, so now that should be penalties done. Foot instances, I was thinking about actually just deleting right now. And I do think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to display footing at all on these. Yeah, let's just I kind of want to just delete it for the time being. Let's do it. I'm going to leave the const, this label variable, just because like eventually I am going to incorporate data for this into one of my graphics. Footing being saying that you have bad footing, like you're running uphill, it's slick, etc. And then also tracking standstill shots. I think once I delete these labels, I am going to call the video here for today. Really the only thing left for me to do is that I was planning on doing today is to create a new graphic, just a temporary one like what I already have here for the flight paths. And that's just going to be me using ChatGPT to pull something together. And I do want to take a little bit of a break here, even though I've been going for like less than an hour, it feels like. So calculations are largely done. And that should include everything that I'm going to be putting in this release angle graphic as well. Which is great. Actual putt shot type. I did just get rid of that, right? I did, so that should not be. We should be able to get rid of this. and get rid of this for loop first. Can definitely do that, and then get rid of this. Okay. We can hit a refresh, make sure that didn't break anything, but it should not have. Yeah, we're good. Okay, yeah, graphics are obviously not pulling in on the right information, but we'll fix that. These might be right though. Because what we've got 18, so we got 56%. So I'm showing the right usage percentages, 56. Yeah. Showing some information correctly at least. Nothing's getting pulled into here. I don't even think I'm passing the values to him yet, so that's fine. Perfectly fine. Then obviously we return the maps up here, which is great. Close, very close. Initial stats are done, so we're going to get that temp graphic in here. And then it'll be, we can go and update this. So temp graphic for flight path statistics. Getting correct data to the graphics themselves. So actually getting these to populate with something. And then once I have that, like I'm sure there's still a lot of troubleshooting that I haven't even discovered yet, but Deep Stats is kind of working. Because all the logging is basically done. There's still tons of stuff to improve all the way around. But like at least for my testing purposes, for me to take out to a round, just being the developer and knowing how it all works anyways, it's kind of ready for that, which is exciting. It'll be much more exciting when this is more intuitive and works better, and when the graphics look better, and I can actually start to pull some cool information into it. But it's a step in the right direction. So we'll do a little bit more on video. We'll probably film again. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. We'll see. But yeah, not bad. Not bad. We got the calculations done at least. So I'm going to wrap it up there for today. As always, thanks for watching. Anybody who finds this after the fact. And maybe we'll see you in the next one.